everyone, and welcome back to our favorite films with Shivam and Mandy. This is our fourth episode, and we hope that you are keeping well. We hope that in this current stressful time, you are keeping safe, you're maintaining social distancing, maintaining proper hygiene, and only leaving the house when necessary. And today we have a very special episode. We have a very interesting and great guest. He's a filmmaker, he's a big part of Film Twitter, and he's also a great letterbox reviewer. It's John Bizub.
Hey, how are you? How you doing?
Hey, John. So, welcome. I am doing great. Man, how are you doing?
I'm doing. It's very hot here, so I think I'm doing okay.
So, today's episode, cut this bit. So, let's just. What have you seen lately, guys?
Mandy, do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
You know what? Okay, I'll go first.
Sure.
So I watched Killing of a Sacred Deer recently, and I watched Dogtooth. So basically, both of those movies are directed by Yorgos Lanthimos, and I think I saw The Lobster about a month back, and I loved it. And I was like, okay, I need to check this guy's films out. And yeah, so recently I watched Killing of a Sacred Deer like just today, and I don't love it. I wanted to love it, but I have a lot of problems with the movie.
That's fair.
Yeah, because I feel like this whole second act is like a very laggy. It's very lagging because the whole movie, the first and the third act is really good, especially like setting up the characters and the motivation.
Right.
And the second act is just them in the hospital, and there's nothing in the second act that is useful at all. You would cut out most of the second act, and you can still like piece up the movie. So yeah, I felt like that. I still great cinematography, great acting. Some of the character motivations are kind of dumb. I felt like there's some setups which were not like they were not like complete or resolved. But yeah, it's nice. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. So yes, it's a 3.5 out of 5. It's fine. I liked it. So
That's fair.
I'm on the same boat as you, Mandy. Actually, I think it's my least favorite Yorgos, but that's not saying it's bad because it's still like an 8 out of 10 for me. But I don't know, I felt conflicted by it to some extent. I have the
Yeah.
same issues with you. I have some issues with the pacing, and the second act in particular is a little bit dodgy for me, but it's still pretty good. And I don't know, I just thought like the way they spoke was so weird and enthralling.
that's basically every Yorgos Lanthimos. He has this deadpan like
Yeah.
style to his movies, and like because a lobster it works really well. And the reason why the lobster is better is because it's more structured, and it feels like it has like when whatever is happening, it feels like it has a reason to happen. In this movie, it doesn't. Like shit is happening.
I
And by
would
the third act is good though, because it is emotional. Like the whole movie is emotionless, and the third act becomes emotional. About yeah, anyway, spoilers for the movie. About him killing one of his family members. I like that scene because he just goes blindfold and he has
Right.
to kill someone. I think that was a good emotional moment. But yeah, I don't think it's better than Lobster, and I also saw Dogtooth recently. So I think even though I gave that a 3.5, it's still I think it's still a little better than this one, because again, even that had like there was like conflicts and setups and which were paid off in the end.
Dogtooth is the only one I haven't seen yet.
Dogtooth's
Uh,
interesting.
It's
Very
interesting.
interesting.
It's very weird because the thing is, your Lanthimos movies is he just throws you into the deep end of the fucked up shit. Like
Oh yeah.
he doesn't like introduce like this is a world where this is happening. He just like throws you into it, and and that's what Dogtooth is basically like. In this household of three kids who don't go out, they're imprisoned, and fucked up shit happens. And it's interesting. Some parts are really good. Some parts I felt like yeah, they're okay, but overall I think it's a little better than Sacred Deer, just because it had like there was some. Is a little better. That's it.
What are your thoughts on The Favorite? For
I
me,
haven't seen. I haven't
that
seen it.
and The Lobster are the strongest. But The Favorite is the least Yorgos out of what I've
Oh
seen.
yeah.
It's a bit more, I don't want to say generic, because that would be insulting to a film that great. But I would say it's the most accessible Yorgos Lanthimos film yet.
I think I agree with you. Out of all of them, I think it's his most accessible because it's his less out there, but like it still tries to make it out there with all that revenge plot and stuff like that.
I think he turns down his idiosyncrasies in this one, in The Favorite. But also, I recently saw Nimic, which is his short film. And
I heard mixed things.
yeah, I wasn't super impressed.
Wasn't it at Cannes? Wasn't it at Cannes last year?
Yeah, I think, but a friend
It
of
was
mine
either
gave.
Cannes or TIFF. So they're Cannes or TIFF last
It
year.
was definitely at a few film festivals, and I was excited to watch Nimic. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I was hyped, but I don't know.
That was me. That was me with The Staggering Girl. I watched that a few weeks ago. By Luca Guadagnino.
For me, I just felt it was it's tough to put it in words, but I just thought it was very okay. It's not that memorable. Not much happens, and like obviously, short films less happens in a short film compared to a feature film.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it just felt like I felt so unsatisfied in terms of substance when after the experience,
Right.
and
Yeah.
it didn't even feel that original for Yorgos, to be honest. Like it felt like his least original film, which is saddening, actually, to be honest.
He's reteaming with the cast from The Favorite to do something with like a gothic, like it was like some gothic setting that he has in mind. So I'm kind of I'm intrigued about that because
No.
I think
His next movie is he's adapting a crime novel.
He's doing quite a lot of things. He's doing he's doing a lot. But I think isn't it? I don't know. It's weird, but I'm excited to see whatever he does next. He's doing a gothic TV show and then the crime novel, or something like that.
yes.
But
I'm excited because I think because the thing is this is like The Lobster is like the exact kind of movie I was looking for, like the genre
Oh yeah.
and the tone, and I think it's like one of those movies like I want to watch a movie like this, and when I watched it I was like, oh damn, this is exactly what I wanted, and I feel like I'm excited to see what he does. I hope he doesn't lose his style because that's the favorite part of his movies for me.
yeah. So, John, what did you see lately?
I did a double bill of Ma and Serenity because I was dying to see them both, and I heard they're like insane. So I said, you know what? They're both on HBO. Just why not? Ma is kind of Ma and Serenity are both oddities of movies. They're just like they are balls to the walls, like out of this world. Like they throw the craziest ideas out, and I kind of enjoy that for that part. But on the other end, it's like they can be very terrible. Like I think Ma is absolutely hilarious. Like it could be a dark comedy if you really wanted to make it out to be. Serenity is just you wonder how it got made in the first place, and I really like Locke a lot. I think
Yeah.
Locke is a very I think has a very good script and a really good performance by Tom Hardy. But I don't know what he was thinking when he was making the script for Serenity. It was just something else.
With Serenity, I read what happened when it came out in cinemas,
Mhm.
and I was like, "What?" And then I saw Loke, like somewhat recently, and I sat there thinking, "I'm sorry, but how do you go from this
Oh yeah.
to what has to be one of the weirdest?" Like, I applaud him for going there.
Oh
Right?
yeah, same.
That's insane. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
it's you kind of because I was talking to my friend Justin about it, and we were kind of talking about it. We're like, so what do you think? I said I don't even know. Like I want to give it a 2.5. I want to give it a heart because it was just it's one of those things it's I don't like to say it because it's like there's some movies are straight up bad, and there are movies are straight up good, but this is like a so bad it's good type of thing because there's a lot to like in this, but there's like the substance. It's just not there. The script is just bonkers. Like it's like one of the most bonkers scripts I've read recently.
I am like, I don't know. It's so I respect that he just went for the weirdest thing possible.
Oh yeah.
But also, it just sounds so laughably bad.
Oh, I wish I saw it in the theater though. I that is it's not a gripe, but like it's one of the things I wish I did. I was dying to see it because I hear it has a bonkers twist, but like it wasn't playing anywhere near me, and I don't understand why. But it was. I wish I saw it in the theater. That could have been such a fun experience.
It was playing at a cinema near me, but the thing is that it was Singapore gives every film an 18 rating basically, and
Gotcha.
I wasn't 18 at the time. Like due to Singapore's age rating systems, I've missed out on so much like good films.
Right.
But like I missed out on seeing Apocalypse Now in the cinema because of the age rating system, which still bugs me to this day. So recently, I saw 3 really interesting films. 2 of them are kind of similar-ish, and one of them is not similar. So let's start with the non-similar one. So I saw it's a Bollywood film called Andhadhun. It's on Netflix, and I have to say it's one of my favorite Bollywood films of recent memory. That and The Man Who Feels No Pain, both are really interesting films made by film buffs.
Yeah, the director, Shivam Raghavan, is basically like he's huge. Like he's made like thing is he's made like 5 to 6 movies in his career, including this movie, and a lot of them have been hit or miss mostly. He's made like 1-2 good movies, but this is like his best project, and it's really famous. Yeah, so and this is like the biggest, like this is the one that got international recognition and everything. But this was a good one. Like this was the one that was commercial, because a lot of his movies were not commercialized before, and he's made like a meta James Bond spoof movie, and he's done interesting stuff. But this is like the most commercial one.
Right.
And it's not bad. It's not a bad movie. I remember seeing it when the hype was like real, like when everyone was like, "Andhadhun is the movie you have to watch right now." And I watched it, and I was like, "Okay, this is good." I don't love it, but I like
better than the majority of Bollywood. But I really like how, I don't know, enthralling it was. It played around with the tropes and conventions of mystery and thriller while being a really good mystery thriller. There was some great plot twists to it. It was very twisty and turny, and it starts off like, oh, it might. Because I went in completely blind in this film, pun intended, and I thought, oh, this is like a sweet, uplifting tale about a man with blindness who spreads joy through his piano playing, and he's gonna fall in love. And then I'm like, oh my god, what? Like it takes a very sharp turn, but in a good way, and it gets really, really good. But I do have some issues with it. I thought a few scenes were a bit too goofy than it like for like a serious-ish film. Some of the scenes felt way too goofy, and I don't know, the score annoyed me. Like the soundtrack was really misplaced. A lot of it felt like stock music, and it comes on at the weirdest times and ruins some of the severity of some scenes. But other than that, I think it's on Netflix. Please do check it out.
It's the most like, as I said again, the goofy elements. It's like the most commercial one. His most commercial movie, because all of his movies are very experimental. And so this is like the one. I think it went to TIFF. I think I may be wrong on this one, but this went to a lot of places and it got a lot of recognition. And I like this movie. I at least like this is one of those movies that like it's a movie that should deserve recognition, and the director should deserve a lot of recognition.
So a friend of mine called Matt, he told me to watch a film called Lords of Chaos. And it's a film about like the very first Norwegian black death metal film. And it's pretty good.
I've heard it's pretty good.
It's a mixed bag at points. It's one thing I would say is that I love visually it's a bit rough around the edges, but it works because it's purposefully rough in that sense. The mise en scène and all that stuff was pretty good. The score was pretty good at points, and the film goes really dark and brutal at points. Like they really go for it, and it's incredibly tough to watch at points. And some extremely graphic scenes. I was like, whoa, like nauseatingly graphic at points. But I feel it's messed up by a really repetitive second act, where I just feel like what events just keep on repeating itself. But it starts off really strong. Some of the writing was a bit hit or miss. One of my biggest issues was how the supporting characters all felt the same. They all just
Really?
felt like they've melted together as boring like personas. And last but not least, the film takes place in Norway, yet none of the main cast have Norwegian accents. Even though they give good performances, they go for that Chernobyl type thing.
Yeah, I was
Where
just
they
gonna say
do
Chernobyl.
a 180 on their accents. But here's the issue that I had. It's inconsistent because you have some people with like very Norwegian accents. Then you have others with British accents, and then the main cast have American accents. So that is very jarring, and it takes you out. Last but not least, Green Room by Jeremy Soliner. And
I love Green Room
a lot of
so
people I
much.
know don't like it, but I don't know, it hit me.
I
It hit
love
me
Green
good.
Room.
It's tense.
It was the
brutal.
perfect. So I saw Green Room when it was like one of the. It was weird. It came out in IMAX.
What?
I know I think they marketed it as being an IMAX, and so I heard it was very good, and it was right after Anton Yelchin's death, and I was getting into his stuff. Like I still need to see Star Trek and Star Trek Into Darkness, but I saw like his earlier stuff, and I was like, oh, he's a good actor. Let me see what he's doing now, or what he did now before his death. And so I saw Green Room in IMAX. I was like, oh my god, this is like, I thought it was like fantastic. I think Patrick Stewart gives one of the best performances he's done in a while. I love the cinematography for that movie also.
Interesting.
I haven't seen that, but someone told that I don't know where I saw it, but someone was like it is the least A24 movie A24 has ever made.
I
don't know if it's
mean, I'm not sure. I disagree. It does have the A24. Like A24 is I don't know. Like I feel people.
It's a mixed bag.
I feel people put A24 on too high of a pedestal. Keep
Oh
in mind,
yeah,
they don't make the films. They
Mhm.
distribute these films.
Exactly.
They don't have much say, but they're clever. They curate what they release to fit their brand. So people people treat A24 like their saviors, which is no offense if you do that. But keep in mind, they have pushed away some really good films. So people like, I remember, no hate to, I'm not going to mention this person by name, so I don't want to start beef. But there's a moderately famous YouTube reviewer, and in his Letterboxd review for Last Black Man, he wrote, "Long live A24."
Oh,
And
I
I
know
don't
exactly
know.
who you're talking about. I'm
That
not gonna
annoyed
name
me
it.
because A24 did an awful job at marketing and releasing the last
true. A24 does the worst job at marketing movies. Like literally,
marketing and international release is A24's worst quality. If you
Oh,
ask me,
marketing for Last Black Man was absolutely a nightmare,
and
especially
even
for the
it comes at night.
US.
Even
Oh
it
yeah,
comes at night.
It Comes at Night was also one. And I love how it's like they market their most successful. Like I remember Hereditary was their most successful, and I was like, oh, like it was like their biggest release, and so they just cranked it up a notch for Midsummer.
yeah, like Hereditary actually got a release in Singapore that wasn't super late, which is weird because like normally we get films like we got Beale Street in like September of last year
Jeez.
in one cinema. So it came out in Singapore in 2018 June, and it came out in the US. Like I was shocked they managed to get it close-ish release date wise. Like only a couple of weeks after like US. That was rare for an A24 film. But Midsummer that came out in like October for Singapore. It took a while to get here. First Reformed got the Singapore Film Society. Shout out to them; they're doing a great job. They managed to bring it to one screening, but yeah, it's just a bit crazy. I feel like they badly marketed Midsummer. Uncut Gems did quite well. I think that's the most successful film in terms
Yeah,
of.
Uncut Gems, they did pretty well. They did pretty well.
because
They just
they had Adam Sandler, so obviously they had to market it.
That's
Yeah,
true.
but
For us,
Yeah,
it came out on Christmas.
Oh, I'm sorry. Please continue.
I'm sorry. For us, it came out on Christmas. They had a like December 18th release, and then they did like a joke because it was like right. I think it was right in the middle of Hanukkah or like it was some Jewish holiday that came out during, and they thought that would be pretty clever. And then on Christmas, they're like, "Oh, for all the Catholics who don't want to be with their families on Christmas, here's Uncut Gems," and they released it everywhere. And I thought that was
that's
kind of funny.
clever. But
Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny.
also,
Yeah,
I've noticed that Blu-ray releases are also getting worse. I've heard that they haven't even properly scanned certain films onto their Blu-rays. And like for Uncut Gems, they didn't even put a director's commentary on the Blu-ray. That's why I haven't bought it yet, because Uncut Gems is one of those films that I really want to dive deep on how they made the film. But without a director's commentary, what the hell is the point? Like, and
but keep in mind they are an independent studio, though. Keep that in mind.
like
Like you can criticize it, but you can still like they are making money and like like the thing is, yeah, they are like making bank, but I'd be surprised. I'm not surprised that they're not doing that so well in marketing.
no, but here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I feel like they're in the big leagues now. They are next to, at least in my opinion, like Annapurna, Searchlight,
Oh yeah,
Blumhouse, and Bleecker. Like they're big players now, if you ask me. And they recently paired up with Apple.
oh yeah.
So
With that
what's
Ooh,
interesting is here's what they're doing now. They're not releasing any of their Blu-rays on 4K anymore. They're only giving 4K releases to Apple. Any extended cuts, right to Apple. Any
right because of
special,
summer.
any interesting special features, right to Apple.
I mean,
Which
it's
or
smart going to
iTunes.
digital. It's smart going to digital, but still there are people who still. Here's the thing. Here, no one does physical collection a lot, but like I imagine, so many people would love to have a physical copy of A24 movies.
In the US, I feel like the people that like watch A24 films distributed by A24 often would be the type of people to buy digital physical copies. I know I do, but I was so annoyed because Uncut Gems is one of my favorite films of all time, and they didn't even give a proper release on Blu-ray.
Oh, Climax, forget about it.
Oh yeah,
That
I was going
that
to say.
Blu-ray looks some like it. I haven't bought it yet because of this reason. Because I'm waiting for them for either like Curzon or like someone to pick it up and make a better one because it looks like the most cheap Blu-ray I've ever seen. Because my friend bought it and he's like, "Have you seen the Blu-ray for Climax?" I said, "No." I'm. What does it look like? Literally doesn't even have the Blu-ray logo. It just says Blu-ray on top of it, like in like Times New Roman font. And like it, and apparently it's not like scanned well. There's like some of the dubbing is not properly there for other languages.
Oof. No, but
Yeah.
for I'm blanking on it. I'm blanking. Oh yes. What's it called? The Souvenir. I heard the scan for that was abysmal. Like
Yeah. That's why I'm
heard,
gonna watch it on like Amazon Prime or something.
yeah, I think it was horribly scanned on Amazon Prime, and I don't know. I mean, on Blu-ray, like A24. I really love what they're putting out, but I feel like they gotta up the international releasing
Oh yeah.
because here's the thing: those A24 films, the spoilers will float on the internet immediately afterwards they come out, and huge amount of old people who want to watch it outside of the place will just get turned off from it. Like what's it called? The Farewell came out in October where I live, so I had to wait a while to see that. And it makes it difficult for people to support their films if they're not giving anyone a way to support it on time. If someone told me, I know people who basically, if you were to say, oh, this film you want to see really badly, you can support it properly, but you just gotta wait 6 months to support it, or you could watch it immediately. And like I know people who would to take the illegal route and watch it. Like the Lighthouse came out in January over here. I got
Yeah, I heard about that.
no, I think it was like late Jan or Feb. I got friends who just immediately, like, moment it came out on torrents, they were on it because they don't want to wait, and I don't blame
Yeah.
them, to be honest.
Here's the thing with A24, like, I feel like they have the money right now, because also keep in mind they have a shop, which I think is some of the most expensive stuff put on.
Oh yeah, it is like Hype Beast. It's Hype Beast merch.
I have a sweatshirt. I have an A24 sweatshirt that I got for Christmas because I told myself I'd rather someone else buy it for me than I buy it myself because it's so expensive. $75 for a sweatshirt, $25 for like a mug or like a candle. Like, come on. And like they were doing that auction recently.
That's for charity though.
It's still going. Yeah. It's still going on. Still going on.
But
yeah.
Oh yeah.
But some of the stuff they have on there was expensive.
A water bottle for $24 on the website. If you want to buy, also you want to buy a like a print of their logo, $36.
I know, it's ridiculous.
Okay, okay. Let's not advertise A24.
Oh yeah. So sorry, back to Green Room. Sorry, wow, that was a massive tangent. that should go down in the Hall of Fame for a podcast on one of the best tangents we've been on. So Green Room, I thought great performances. I wish there was more Patrick Stewart. He doesn't do that much. I wish he just did a bit more. Like I liked how subtle he was because I was expecting like a rage performance. You know, he goes like a Nicolas Cage level. But he honed it in. It was very subtle. You could feel the anger in his voice without him having to scream.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think it's overall a really thrilling film. I was on the edge of my seat. There's some blood-curdling moments. And I mean, look, if you want to see a bunch of punks beat the daylights out of Nazis with some amazing cinematography and music,
oh yeah,
Green Room is the film for you.
I think the lighting in that movie gets not that recognized at times.
And the set design and the set.
Yeah, definitely.
And the practical gore effects. Whoa.
Yeah, like, damn, like that. I think it's not. It doesn't get that much discussion recently, and I'm glad they watched it recently because I haven't heard any praise for it in so long.
So let's go to
no. Can we just before we start? I do have something interesting.
Okay, go ahead.
So recently, the Tenet, the newest Tenet trailer was screened in Fortnite.
Oh my god!
And
I hate
here's the
that
thing.
so much.
And next month, apparently they're going to screen a whole iconic Christopher Nolan movie.
I did hear about this.
Fortnite.
And
it is like, here's the thing. It was like 1 or 2 in the night, and I see this, and I'm like, what the hell? What are they doing? What are they up to? Like, the thing is, I imagine I would never hear Christopher Nolan and Fortnite in the same sentence.
Here's the thing with that though. Like, as much as it's like the memeiest decision ever, like I think that is the funniest. Like when I heard that at work, thought that was the funniest thing I've heard in so long. Here's the thing: they want to get their demographic. They want to know who their demographic is. They want people to get the hype up for Tenet, and I understand there's a ton of hype for it. They kind of want to get their hype even more. And I kind of think that's a smart decision because what else is the most popular thing right now? Fortnite. But yeah, I think that he should have done it? No, God, no, he shouldn't have done that. But
yeah, I know it's a Dark Knight. There's no other movie that they can show in Fortnite.
Nah.
If they showed Memento, I will download Fortnite. And
I will watch Memento
even Inception, but
that would be an insult to a film as spectacular as Fortnite. I mean, a Memento or Inception. Inception is such a film that you want to see on the biggest screen you can, and watching it on a tiny mini cinema screen in Fortnite while some
No,
12-year-old
it's
kid
not.
is
It's
doing a
not.
floss dance next to
It's
you.
no, no,
It's
no, no.
like,
Exactly.
It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. It's like you have a private party room and you watch it. You have a big screen, bro. What the hell are you talking about? They had like the Travis Scott concert and everything.
I
Do
know
you think
That
it's
they
Travis
were?
Scott concert. That Travis Scott concert, man, what a light show that was. That
like
was
I can't wait for the Criterion Collection to pair up with Fortnite and screen like I don't know, like elephant sitting still in Fortnite or something, or like
That'll be
or
such
the
a
three
great.
colors trilogy.
yes.
That'd be such a great feature if like the players could just invite some people into a party room and screen something. That'd be epic, actually. If you think about it.
I can't wait for them to screen Robert Brisson's Al-Hazard Balthazar in Fortnite. That's gonna be an amazing screening, guys.
What's it called? I saw the first thing I saw after I heard that was so Ichi Pachon. I can't pronounce the director's name, but he directed Uncle Boon Me.
Oh
or
yeah, yeah.
Call Us Master. Yeah,
I can't
yeah,
either, but
yeah.
I know
You know
what
what I'm
you're
talking
talking about.
So
He
has
goes
something.
by Joe. He actually goes by Joe.
Okay.
Like his nickname.
So
Just call him Joe.
so he has a new movie coming out soon with Tilda Swinton called
Yeah,
Memoria.
Memoria. Yeah.
And I saw the film update posted. Guys, the new trailer for Memoria is coming out in Minesweeper. Guys, get hyped.
Oh yeah, dude.
I
I thought that
won't be
was so
surprised
funny.
if we get the Memoria trailer in Apex Legends or like modern.
I can't
like,
wait for
a new
I can't wait
Call
to go
of
to
Duty.
Cannes and I can't wait to go to Cannes and Animal Crossing.
Bro, that'd be. I'm excited. However, Clash sounds, I'm hyped. I'm just thinking how they can pull this off. The one thing I respect Fortnite for doing something unconventional. Like they're not like just they're at least like trying to do something different from the other games, and they're like it's good. But I know it's gonna be trash, but I'm
Now,
waiting.
I
I'm so
wanna be able to
excited for this.
play as Christopher Nolan though.
Yeah,
In
I
He
Fortnite.
the
probably
Christopher Nolan skin just T-posing.
was like when the marketing team saw when they were marketing this, like how can we make this more like how we gonna get the hype up? And then someone said, "Oh, let's put in Fortnite." Probably Christopher Nolan was like, "What's Fortnite?" Like you
Yeah,
think that
he's a film purist. He shoots on film. He's part of this association
Oh yeah,
where
I
you're
was
supposed
shocked
to.
when I heard that.
Yeah, and it's like if Inception was shot on film. That's still
They're gonna add film grain. They're gonna add film grain to Fortnite. They're
Oh,
gonna add
dude,
like a 75 70 millimeter filter. So you have that film grain. We're gonna get Roger Deakins to basically somehow do the visuals for Fortnite. I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah, I think it's its birthday today or yesterday. I don't remember.
But one thing about Nolan I read lately, well, not Nolan, it's not his fault. But did you know Dunkirk's battleships, right? They were made using free prison labor.
Really?
Like to cut costs, they used like first time offenders and like low crime, like low level criminals who are in prison to make their boats. And that feels fairly unethical to me. It feels, I don't know, it's not right if you ask me, because it's not like a low budget small indie film. It's a multi-million. It's like hundreds of $1 million in this film, and you can't pay people to make your boats. You have to you have to exploit prison labor. Like, I don't think Nolan knew this when that happened, but like, shame on them.
Who was it produced by?
you're right.
Who was it produced by? Dunkirk.
Warner Brothers. Was it Warner Brothers?
Yes,
Most likely.
it was.
But another thing annoying about Dunkirk I read lately is that it turns out, so the original Dunkirk story on the beach, right? There was a lot more people of colors fighting for the Allied forces. Like a lot of black soldiers, a lot of brown soldiers were on the beaches as well. But Dunkirk completely whitewashed a story that had quite a few people of color. So I feel like let's hope, like, I just like that's kind of insulting.
I mean, basically, it's just propaganda. I mean, it's not trying to be anything else. It's not trying to. We know it's just like propaganda for and that's fine. Like, if you're making a movie for your country, that's fine. Like Saving Private Ryan, people give it a pass, even though that's like the most American movie ever. That's
No,
like,
man, American Sniper. American Sniper
Oh
beats.
my god, the Chris Kyle story.
oh my god. Okay, I haven't seen the whole movie, but it looks boring. It looks
But
It
really
is
also,
boring.
so
I have to say,
God.
I am kind of glad that Tenet has more of a diverse cast because
Oh
you
yeah.
you have a couple of Indian actors. You have my boy Himesh Patel, representing us British Indians. You got it's funny. I typed in Tenet cast. It just says John David Washington as protagonist. Interesting, but also let's hope Nolan doesn't do that classic dead wife thing he does in basically all his films.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Dude, I just
staple.
realized that. I just realized that.
I feel
Literally.
bad for Nolan's wife, frankly. Like almost
Oh,
every
like
film he
it's
has is
yeah.
just like the wife's dead.
Oh yeah. Like it's you kind of want to. That's the biggest. That'll be the biggest twist in Tenet if the
The
wife
wife
is not
isn't dead.
killed.
If his wife isn't. Yeah, if
Yeah.
his wife is like perfectly fine.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna enjoy it, but I'm
I'm
just scared for
hyped.
the. I'm
Yeah.
hyped, but the thing is, I'm just hyped to see it on a big. I was hyped to see it on a big screen, but that doesn't look like it's happening anytime soon.
Here's
So
the thing. Tenet might come out on let me get this correct. I don't want to mess this up. July 17th? Yeah, July 17th.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I've heard they're only going to show it in cinemas on July 17th if 80% of the world's cinemas are open.
I did hear that as well.
But here's the thing. I don't want to go to a cinema to watch Tenet if it's not 110% safe. If there
Right.
is full safety for me to go. Like, I don't mind catching the film at home because for my safety. I would rather be at home and stay safe than go to the cinema. And it pains me to say that because I'm someone who obviously wants to support cinemas. But if it's not fully safe, I don't want to go. And I hope they're not rushing to reopen cinemas just because of Tenet. Because that poses a huge public health and safety risk.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know what W is playing at though, because like look at Dune. Dune got delayed, right? And it's not like a
No,
small budget movie. And it's
it
like
did not get delayed.
what?
Here's my thing with the whole delayings. I think that Tenet should get delayed to August. Wonder Woman
Yeah.
1984 should get delayed to December because let's face it, Dune is gonna get crushed if it stays in that December slot because he got Free Guy and he got I think Ridley Scott's got something and he got West Side Story that's gonna get
You
destroyed.
also have the remnants from what's it? Blanking. Don't Have to Die. No.
Yeah.
No Have to Die. Black Widow. Like, I feel like one thing I feel like Netflix should do: buy up all the mid or interesting indie films, just because they've got their stocks have massively increased because of the pandemic. They have
yeah.
more than enough cash to just scoop up a bunch of interesting indie films and chuck it on their platform.
Like I would love to see Promising Young Woman right now.
I want to
Something
see
kind of
Green Knight. Green Knight is what I'm
Yeah.
really.
I could see Amazon picking that up.
But
see
I feel like
Amazon
I
picking
want
that
to
up.
see Green Knight in the cinema though.
Yeah.
I just want Netflix to buy Capone and just delete the whole movie altogether.
I
And
I just
I want Wonder Woman to be delayed to oblivion. That's it.
Damn.
I think that and Dune should just re-release where the Batman was supposed to be released in June because it gives them more. Yeah, just give them more time to also work on it, but also just do well. I just want Netflix to release things for I'm thinking of ending things by Charlie Kaufman.
Should we go now to our fight, like the main two films we're talking about? So our first film of the day that we're talking about is Bong Joon-ho's Okja. Now, Okja is one of my favorite Bong Joon-ho films. It's about a young girl and her relationship with her pet Okja, which is like a genetically engineered super pig. And it's about animal cruelty, animal rights, and it's about environment, but also the bond between someone and their pet. It stars Tilda Swinton, Paul Dano, Chu Wook-shik, Jake Gyllenhaal, Seo Hyun, Lily Collins, Stephen Yuen, Devin Bostick, Shirley Anderson, Giancarlo Esposito, Bjorn Hebong, and Daniel Henschel. It's What's your thoughts on this, guys? What do you guys think?
Bong Joon Ho.
I'll let you go first because I don't like this movie. So
Ooh.
Okay. So if none of you know who I am, I think I'm a really big Bong Joon Ho stan. He like for as a script wise, he's created some of the best scripts ever written. I think Memories of Murders and Parasite is a pretty perfect script. I like Okja. I think it's one of his weaker ones, but I don't think that's saying it's bad. I think it's a good movie from him. I think what he says about the environment is a very cutesy and friendly way is pretty great. I think what it also says about capitalism and consumerism is kind of great because of Tilda Swinton's character. I think the acting by Tilda Swinton and Jake Gyllenhaal they've never been better. Even Suspiria, I will still take their Okja performances any day of the week. I think where that movie lacks is, while I do love the description of his other movies, I think there's some times in the script for Okja where it feels too on the nose, and I don't know if that's the point, but I still enjoy Okja thoroughly.
So, for me and Okja, I have kind of a hot take. I think it's the second best Bong film next to
Really?
Parasite. I prefer it over everything else. I know it's a really weird take, but I think it was my first Bong film, and it was one of my first proper. I think it was the first times I really got into a foreign film as well. Back in 2017. So okay, not maybe one of the first times, but I think it was one of the foreign films I rewatched the most when I was getting into film. And I don't know, I just thought I really liked the message to it, and I love how it's executed. But I thought it's interesting because it's a really big scale film with a very strong heart at its core. And I've noticed about some of Bong Joon Ho's films, where it's, for example, you have The Host, where it's like a monster film, but really it's about the love a father has for his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Okja is about the bond between a girl and her pet, but it's with the backdrop of a multinational company ruining their lives and political activism. And one thing I love, right? This film is, I feel like this shows Bong Joon Ho's, I don't know, like funnier side. There's some Parasite, in my opinion. I had some good laughs, and Jake Gyllenhaal, man, he chews the scenery.
Oh yeah,
he just gives the wackiest and most fun performance I've seen him give. That and Spider-Man: Far From Home, he just chews it.
Oh yeah, I think I think Okja is also it's when he started becoming more popular because of Snowpiercer, and also this because it gained more recognition because of the fact that it came out on Netflix. So I think that
there
helped.
was the whole controversy at Cannes.
Oh yeah,
where it got booed when the Netflix logo showed up, which is kind of stupid.
Yeah,
like I get what you mean, but like, no need to boo the poor film. It's not like it's a bad film. I genuinely think, here's my take on Okja. It's something that it's rare you get a somewhat big budget film with this much heart and this much oomph in this political message. And I don't know, it feels such an auteur-driven project, and I feel like it could have been incredibly soulless and bland and stupid, but Bong Joon-ho is just such a great director that he lifts it up. And I found the satire and the political elements to it to be sharp and really hits nail on the head. But I mean, that could just be because the film's messages align with my own political views. But I feel like it does a really good job at portraying the harshness of multinational corporations and how soulless corporations have become. Yet they try and post a happy face.
okay, so Okja, right? I was watching this movie, and it was it's not bad at all. It's far from bad. But I was watching this movie, and I'm like, this is not Bong Joon Ho. Because you look at a movie and you know the director has done it, but it's just like it's weird because I didn't feel like it was a Bong Joon-ho movie at all, and I felt like it was going for more than it could. It was chewing more than it could bite. I don't know, whatever you say. It's I just I don't like it that much. I gave it a 3.5, but it's not. I didn't vibe with it really that much. Other the acting was good, but I still don't feel like I vibe with the movie because
Interesting.
the thing is, I like its big scale. Like it's bigger. It is bigger scale, and obviously Bong Joon-ho did that, and it has all his trademarks. It has all the Bong Joon-ho
Mm.
trademarks. The dark tones and the cinematography, the technical, everything is there.
The drop
Something
kicking.
just feels like it's and everything just feels something feels missing. And I feel like
Mhm.
Snowpiercer was a little better because it had that element of Bong Joon-ho movie. But this
I
was
do
like
like I do like Snowpiercer a little bit better. Also.
yeah. So
Ooh, interesting.
because the thing is like Snowpiercer, look at all of his movies, right? Bong Joon-ho's movies. The message he gives is like the thing is Snowpiercer, right? Going from the lowest carriage to the highest carriage, and like Parasite, which we're gonna talk about, and the host. I like the host because the thing with the host is it's very grounded, and the message going for is since this movie is grounded on the scale, the message delivers is really powerful, like the love for the father and the daughter. It's more, it resonates more with you because the movie is not about the monster, it's just about the relationship of the father and daughter. And that's why I like the host more than I like Okja. And Okja doesn't feel like his movie because it's more about show. It's like Netflix is producing the movie, so it's like okay, we can do a lot of shit. And I'm not exactly complaining, but it's like okay, but what's the point? Like okay, you can do that, but what's the point?
Here's the thing. I feel because I controversial opinion, right? But I thought Snowpiercer lacked the heart of other Bong Joon-ho films. It felt like the most blockbustery out of all his work. It because like Okja is, it has an emotional core to it. Host emotional core. All the other films have an emotional core and a relationship at the heart of the film that spears the film along. Snowpiercer
Mhm.
was empty of this,
I
and it
feel like
felt
no, I feel like the message gets lost somewhere
what in
because
Snowpiercer.
the first act and second no
Okja, yeah.
about in Okja, yeah, it's like in somewhere, yeah, like the first act, the second act, it is about it like capitalism is overshadowing everything, but then it just becomes about Okja, and it just felt it sounds pretentious because it's like okay, but for me it doesn't work out as a Bong Joon-ho movie. Like if someone else directed, I'm like okay, this is good, but as a Bong Joon-ho movie, it doesn't feel right, especially the third act. It's the especially like
I
the Chekhov's thing with like the golden elephant. That was like that was very stupid. I'm so sorry, but it was really stupid. It's just like okay, you can just buy it. I'm like really that's all. Just gonna spare her for that. I'm like
That's fair.
so interestingly, I don't know. I do agree. At points, it does feel a bit blockbustery. At points, I agree with you that. But I feel like the film never loses its way, and it gets back to its satire and biting reflection on, like, okay, so you have the character of Lucy Miranda, who is, I feel like, reflects a lot of the corporate leaders nowadays, right? You have this happy-go-lucky public persona of, oh, we love you and we're on your side actually, and this concept of we're just as conscious by the environment as you are, right? But in reality, they're just money hungry and they're awful. And sure, they have a great persona in public, but in reality, they are just as bad as those without the public persona. For example, look at Elon Musk, right?
Mhm.
Lately, the shine of his persona has been wearing off quite a bit. Like he at first he was a big part of pop culture. Everyone loved him. He was doing some pretty amazing things. But now lately, you look at him, right? He's he's gone a bit mad. He's tweeting nonstop. He's Turns out he
Yeah.
doesn't pay his workers properly. There's like multiple health and safety violations in his factories, and then he's promoting the reopen America now thing, which is incredibly dangerous, and you can see it like connects back how sure you can be a bubbly and fun persona, but in reality, corporations are corporations and they are soulless as hell.
No, my problem with it can be blockbustery. That's not my problem. If it wants to be, it can be. It's not my decision. But my main drive with the movie is that in about it may be blockbustery and still be about the message, but somewhere it just loses that shine. Especially the third act. I feel like the third act kind of just goes always. And I like some of the moments. I like there are a lot of moments I like little moments in the movie. I think cinematography is very 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 good. I don't know.
Mhm.
It's really good, and
The
technically
cinematography
everything's
is done by Darius Kajondi, who's done like Uncut Gems, and like he's amazing. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was fine. Yeah, that's my main gripe with the movie is it's not I just don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but it doesn't feel like a Bong Joon-ho movie to me completely.
interesting.
No, I feel like there were some choices there that could have been like okay, some Bong Joon-ho choices that could have been taken out. There's a lot of less violence in the movie. Like the fact that like these guys do not like do have violence is just like okay, this is just like they want with kids to watch it. So or
You know,
if this
I
one
would
could
disagree, but go on. Sorry, go on.
no problem. You got it.
I disagree about the violence bit. I feel like the film goes brutal when it needs to, but doesn't fall into over exploitative. If you ask me,
That's fine.
I agree with that.
You can like it. I'm not saying I like it, but I don't like it a lot. I'm just like, okay, this is good. I don't vibe with it. That's it.
I agree with that. It's not like I feel like his most violent is either The Host or Memories of Murder, but like this, it kind of feels like
Mother
it's
is
like it.
quite violent at points as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot to mention Mother because Mother is great. I think it's fantastic. But it's kind of his most tame, and I don't know if it's because I think was it PG-13. I think it was that restriction, but I don't think he would have gone any more violent at all
Because there are
with that
some
movie.
scenes that are genuinely hard to watch. Where like the Dr. Johnny, what's his name?
Um,
There's
yeah,
like
Jake Gyllenhaal's
a
character.
yeah. He taught like the animal torture scene's tough to
Oh
watch.
yeah,
Like
oh yeah,
there are some moments like I was wincing like oh god.
yeah,
Um, and I thought like it's interesting. One thing I read, so he chose like the pig because it's an animal everyone looks down upon, and it's often only associated with food
hmm
compared to other animals. So it's interesting how he managed to like humanize some sort of an animal like that. And also it does point its finger towards the people that want to help but are taking shortcuts, right? Like with Stephen Yuen's character, um, if you remember, the girl Mia, I'm blanking on her. Yeah, Mia. She says no. I want to go home.
yeah,
Um, and Stephen Yuen's like, nope. She's saying something else, guys. So that also is, like look at Peter for example.
right.
They,
And that whole organization.
yeah, that sort of like it's also points finger saying, hey, no one is like everyone's at blame, but certain degrees. But there are a couple of issues with the pacing. I feel like
Oh yeah,
some scenes have been slimmed down,
I think the
and
third act kind of drags a little bit.
the third act does drag, and I saw some of the supporting characters felt kind of empty. I wish we had more insight into Stephen Yuen's character and sort of the what was it? I think Miha's grandpa. I wish we got more insight into him. What was
Yeah,
he thinking? But overall, I feel like Okja is his most spectacle film. But also, yeah, he's more. I think with this and Parasite is his most accessible film. But I
yeah,
don't know. Okja for me feels like what Snowpiercer should have been, where because Snowpiercer lacks the heart of the Bong Joon-ho films, and I Okja isn't subtle, but Snowpiercer couldn't be more on the nose if you ask me. Like I feel like at least with Okja you have more fleshed out characters. Snowpiercer feels like Okja feels like what Snowpiercer could have been. Yet Snowpiercer is the weakest, one of the weakest in my opinion.
That's fair.
Any final remarks regarding Okja?
Favorite character is Choi Woo-shik when he comes as a truck driver. That was my
He's
favorite.
funny,
Oh,
but
yeah.
he's not in the
He is
film
funny.
for a lot. He's
Yeah,
not
but
in the-
I don't get. It's really funny.
Yeah.
yeah, that it was. Joe, yeah, that guy has a huge future ahead. Like he's in Train to Busan, Parasite. He's gonna be big soon.
Oh, yeah.
So from Chewy Shock, shall we just segue into Parasite?
Hell yeah, go for it, Mandy.
All right. So Parasite. Do I even need to introduce this
No.
movie right now? At this point, it's just like because
Parasite.
I think
Indians are
everyone
watching
knows
it.
what it is.
Indians are watching it. I didn't. The thing was, I've been following this movie since last year, right?
Oh,
And
same.
I couldn't watch it. Until it came out legally. So the thing is, this guy, right, in my school, he comes up. This guy like doesn't watch movies, and he comes and tells me to watch Parasite. I'm like, dude, what the hell? Okay, I have to check this out. And I checked it out right before the Oscars, and I'm so happy I did.
For
But
me,
no,
Oh,
wait,
sorry, go
let me just like okay.
Yeah.
So it's directed by Bong Joon-ho, and it stars Song Kang-ho, Lee Sun-kyun, Cho Yo-jung. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Choi Woo-shik, Park So-dam, and a lot of other people. I don't want to mispronounce the name, so yeah. But obviously, top movie. It has replaced The Godfather as the top narrative feature in Letterboxd. I mean, that should say enough about this movie.
Hmm.
Yeah, I do
Um,
have. I love this movie, but let's hear your opinion.
So I heard about this movie at Cannes last year, and I was like so excited for it because I thought like, like I liked Okja a lot, and I liked Snowpiercer a lot. So I was like, oh, I'm excited for what he has next. And I heard he won the top prize at Cannes. That's when I got very excited for it. And then whenever I heard people at film festivals, like in my group chats, I've seen it. They're like, dude, see Parasite. The hype is real. So I was so hyped to see it. And for my birthday, I went to see it as my first film festival experience, and that whole experience was just a ton of fun. Then I came out of it, and I was completely blown away by it. I've seen that movie. I shamelessly have seen that, not shamelessly, but I loved seeing every minute of it. I've seen it 6 times.
damn.
At this point, I know. I the last time I saw it was in my film as literature class because I recommended it. I said, please, let's watch it. It's almost the Oscars, and plus it got nominated for Best Picture. I even saw in IMAX, which literally there's no difference, but I just wanted to see on the big screen right after the Oscar, right before the Oscars. But I love Parasite. I think it has one of my favorite scripts ever. Pretty much, I think just everything like there's always just scenes played out in my mind that are just I cannot get out of my mind. I think that montage is pretty much perfect. There's like that setup and there's that payoff that works so perfectly. I think it's if you say you're not into foreign films, I feel like that's the most accessible one because that huge barrier of subtitles is just gone halfway through. I think it's not like painful to watch it. I think I think the message is made clear. The reason why it's South Korean, I think the reason why it's works so well is because it's universal. It's not just only in South Korea, but it's also everywhere. If it was made in America, like Joker was, I feel like that's like kind of just like it ruins the point and just it doesn't feel well rounded as a whole. But I love Parasite. I can go on about that movie, but I don't want to waste too many people's time about it.
So, with Parasite, is one of the films that I got early in Singapore for once, as opposed to getting like 6 months afterwards. We got it in June, and I was hyped because like my exams are over. I can go see it. Let's go! And then the government's like 18 plus. I'm like, God damn it! But then we got it fairly early on VOD here. But actually, I sort of I bought a ticket of Parasite. I went to one of the cinemas where they don't really check your ID, and it's amazing. I showed it to my parents. I showed it to my friend, and then my dad liked it so much he called one of his other friends and said, "Yo, you gotta watch Parasite." Like, it's masterpiece, and it's a film that plays in my head a lot. Like John said,
Oh yeah.
I was hyped from Cannes, but I did not expect something so dark. Like, I don't know. It's like, in terms of what it's doing, it's so ambitious, and it's such a versatile film. It's funny, it's dark, it's scary, it's tense, it's a crime film, it's thriller, it's everything. It's just one of the most interesting films of the decade.
Oh yeah.
And
It's like one of those films. Like, the thing is, when you imagine like a perfect film, like The Godfather is a perfect film in every aspect. Like, you look at Godfather, like everything is good, the acting, the score. Parasite, like, now that it stopped The Godfather, it's literally a perfect movie. Like, you don't find there's not a single fault. I watched it 2 times. I increased my rating the second time. It was a 4.5. I gave it a 5 the second time because it is so well done, and it's such a, I literally cannot find any mistake. I was so happy when watching the second time because it was so good. It was literally it was literally a perfect movie for me.
Oh, yeah, like, I've seen it 3 times. I can't think of a single flaw with it. It is
Mhm.
just so gripping. And what's weird, like, the layers. It's such a layered film. There's
Oh
so
yeah.
much to say, and it does it so well, and it hits home the message so hard. Yet it
Especially
doesn't feel forced or on the nose at all.
especially like the scene where like they slept in the gym and they sleep in the gym and they come to the party, and like these, like they've just like slept in a crowded gym, they're fishing for clothes, and these rich people, they're celebrating a party. They're just like getting, they just come with Sunday party just so well. I think that's my favorite like scene of the movie because like it just shows, the message. It's not so subtle anymore, but it's so well done. I That's my favorite scene of the movie because the classism element in this movie was so subtle. It's not so subtle anymore, but it is really, really well done. It's brought out really well the differences between these people.
Oh, I agree. But
Yeah.
there is, yeah, the subtlety of it is brilliant. How you have, for example, let's take the scene, right, where the family's house is completely flooded, it's ruined.
Oh yeah.
They have basically, like, they are, their livelihood, like their life is just gone in front of them, ruined. And the very next day, while they are sitting in like a rec center, going through piles of dirty and ruined clothes, looking for what they can wear, they get a call from their rich, happy-go-lucky employer who just couldn't be happier about the rain, and it's like, oh, it's amazing. And like,
Right.
while the family is on their very like lowest, they
Yeah.
they have to go and have a party for like some little rich kid. You can feel the anger in that scene, that from Bong Joon-ho. You can feel he really really cleverly shows the disparity in the struggles between the rich and the poor. And you have that bit where So Kang-ho's character is driving, I think, Mrs. Park in the car, and she kicks her feet up on the thing, and she's on the phone saying, "Oh, the rain was such a blessing," and you can see
Right.
his face just like is done. At that point in the film, I feel like you the loss his he loses the idyllic view of the Park family. The moment where the Mr. and Mrs. Park are having fun on the sofa, and they're just talking smack about Mr. Park and his smell. You can tell he's lost it. You can tell he's
Oh
had it
yeah.
with them now. And then
That's when people are like, I don't understand why he killed him. I was like, that was kind of obvious. Like, he was so done with being talked shit
down to
about
and
him.
treated like
Yeah,
garbage. And then him sitting there, driving this rich lady around to buy like fancy bread and wine,
and wine. Yeah,
while his like entire house was like he was just fighting in the rain 12 hours ago, and here this lady is talking about how much of a blessing it was. Hell, I'm not like at that point.
yeah,
It makes sense. He just straight up mugged Mr.
yeah.
Park. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts, Mandy?
I mean, everything you said, man. And I feel like the Oscars missed out on Song
Yeah.
Kang. Song Kang nomination. He's long
He's
deserved,
very
man. Like,
long overdue.
yeah,
Like,
he needs to get the. Especially for this movie, I thought he had to get it because he was like. Here's the thing: Bong Joon Ho is nothing without Song Kang. Here's the thing: he makes good movies, but without a Song Kang performance, I think this movie could not have been complete. He
Oh, I
made this movie.
agree.
yeah,
He's
Yeah.
the anchor of the film. He's the
Even
anchor.
though Choi Shik, like Kevin's character is supposed to be the main guy, he is still like he holds on this movie, and I feel I'm looking forward to him and Bong collaborating a lot more. I
I
love
love them
Song Kang Ho.
both. I think their best collaboration is either Parasite or Memories of Murder. He's I don't think he's just great in with Bong Joon Ho. I think he's great with Park Chan Wook. I think what he's done with him is also fantastic. I think he just knows like who to work with, and he just brings like all the energy he brings to each performance. I think recently Shivam and I watched The Good, the Bad, and the Weird,
yeah.
and I still think he was fantastic in that. Like he's just so fun and so full of energy.
Song Kang-ho always approaches everything with just the full, like he puts in
With
the
a
full
big
effort for
smile,
everything.
with a big smile, and just like brings in the script. Like
He gives it his all. He gives every
oh yeah,
role his all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also one more thing they add is like in the movie they keep setting up like the stone he gets.
yes,
It's like it's supposed to be so metaphorical,
it's
but
hollow.
it turns out to be so like he just kills him. He just like the guy in the basement. He just kills him with this, and like that's like a whole. That's a big like a fuck you to the audience.
yeah.
It's just like oh, it's supposed to be metaphorical. It's supposed to have meaning. Nope, just he just kills him with it. That's it. There's no metaphor. There's
Well,
no
no,
metaphor. That was
here's
such
the
a.
thing.
I love that. I love that. Like when I on second watch, I loved it more than I loved it on the first watch because such a. I love that when an audio director is just like, oh, I have it set up, but I'm just gonna like not use it the way you intend to, and I just
Right.
love that.
So, what's really clever is if you look back at the film, the stone, it's not real. It's
Yeah.
plastic or fake. It's because it floats in the water. It's hollow, much
Right.
like this sort of. I hate to say this, but much like this idea of a stone bringing someone so much good luck, they will rise from one of the lowest points in society to one of the highest points you can get. It's as hollow as the dream of our protagonist, and that's why Kevin. If the stone was real, Kevin would be dead once
Oh
the
yeah.
stone hit him. He would be like obliterated. But the stone's hollow. It hits him. It just falls off. So it's almost like the hollow hope.
Right.
That, yeah, I don't know. I just found that really clever. Like Parasite, and also there's so many things you can like want to rewatch that hit you. For example, when Mr. Park walks up the stairs, the lights go off. And I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh wait a minute.
When
Like,
I rewatched it, I noticed that I was like, oh my god! Like there's someone operating that like underneath.
Yeah, but the thing is, so I'm gonna get into a little more of the making of this film and the Oscars. So basically, this movie has a lot of VFX. Like people think
yeah.
everything is like people. I heard someone say, "Oh, dude, this photography is great. Everything is like a set." No, every like the street in front of the Park family's house, like only the front part of it is like real. The everything behind it is CGI. The whole park house, like the outer side of it, just like one part is real, the other part. There is so much budget in this movie, and the whole
Oh
like
yeah.
the sequence where there's rain and it's overflowing, that's like a huge pool,
A
which is
water
like,
tank,
yeah, it's like a huge water tank they built just for the scene. And it is just, the thing is, it's about using it well. It's not about overusing the VFX. You hardly notice there's VFX in this movie,
Oh
but
yeah.
and it's so well done. And talking about the best picture win, right? I think a lot of people think that it's just like what do you call it? It's like an indie movie, or it's supposed to be like a small movie that won the Oscar. And I think that's wrong. Like I've seen a lot of people being like, "Oh, this is like an indie South Korean indie movie winning the Oscars." I'm like, no,
Not really.
it's like Korea's biggest movie.
It was the
Any movie,
most talked about movie for like that entire season, like throughout
yeah,
the fall season.
yeah, and it's like, it's like Korea's biggest movie. Like they've invested into it, and like the marketing for that must have been mad.
Hell, it
And
Also,
was what's it called? It was playing in theaters in Australia for like 6 months.
bro,
I think before it was still playing there before this outbreak was happening.
yeah,
It was
no,
still playing
it
there.
played in cinemas here from June. It stopped for a little bit, then it got right. I think there was never a point, never a week, where Parasite wasn't playing since its first release. It
Wow.
played right up until the coronavirus pandemic hit. Like right up until maybe March, late Feb, early March. It played right up until then, in black and white, gold class. If only it came out on IMAX. But yeah, like that's a testament to how influential in Asia this film did incredible. So I actually
Oh yeah.
met someone someone called Mr. Lim Tech, who runs Clover Films in Singapore, which is a Singaporean distribution company. And he actually picked up Parasite for Singapore's release because basically he only saw he saw a couple bits of the script and a little bit of footage, and then immediately said, you know what, no, I'm buying this film for Singapore's release. What a
Nice.
huge gamble, but it paid off. It really paid
Yeah.
off for him. I have to another thing, like, yeah, it was a phenomenon here, and it was crazy seeing like people were texting my parents because I'm known as like a bit of a film nerd in like my local apartment community. People texting my parents saying, "Yo, what's this Parasite movie? Can you ask Shivam if it's any good? Where can we see it?" So like it was bouncing and bouncing, and it kept getting momentum. It kept getting momentum,
Oh,
momentum, momentum.
I remember like when Neon released it in October, it was playing in my local theater like a week later because it was that New York and LA and the IFC Center, sold out all of their
Yeah,
showings, but they played at my local theater, and I think probably a large majority of my school saw it because on Monday I kept getting a crowd of people saying, "Dude, I just saw Parasite, and God, it was so worth the hype." I said, "I know it's so good." And they're like, "How many times have you seen it?" I said, "I'm seeing it twice. I'm probably seeing it a third time this weekend." And everyone was like I love that movie so. When it won the Oscars, I wore my T-shirt, my
yeah,
Parasite T-shirt, because I got one from Neon for Christmas, and everyone like knew that I was just so happy. I think that win was just, it made my
I mean,
2020 like.
yeah.
I mean, the
It was
movie
it
blew the
was a
fuck up. I mean, the movie blew the fuck up, man. Everywhere. It is everywhere.
Parasite winning was the last like good thing that happened in 2020.
Oh yeah.
Um, but here's the thing: on Oscar day, I okay, I was considering betting on Parasite winning. I had
Same.
won $50, but I was like, "You're not betting. I don't care." I'm like, I'm telling this guy, I was like, "Listen, no foreign film has won the Oscar yet for Best Picture. It's not gonna be Parasite." I'm like, "Fine then." And then but as the day was going on, is Dragon Wars. I kind of felt like Adam Sandler in Uncut Gems towards the end, where I was like,
Oh
"Yes,
yeah.
go, go." Oh, and then it was hype for Best Picture, and then I'm like, "Oh wait, no, I have a film exam now." Right? Because I was watching the Oscars throughout the school day. I know I
Right.
shouldn't be doing that, but I had like a
Yeah.
bunch of free lessons, like study periods. So I had the Oscars playing on my computer, and then what happened was lesson 5 was a film exam I had. So I couldn't take my phone with me and check the Oscars. And the film was just like,
Right.
yo, I know you're thinking about the Oscars, but don't think about it. Like, it's exactly like fine. So as I'm walking in the film room, they have a little storyboard for Parasite hung up. So I don't know. I looked at it like, come on, you can win this. And I sat down, did my exam. I leave immediately. I grab my phone, so I put one best picture. I read Parasite. I damn near fainted. Like seriously.
I thought I love 1917. I think it was a great movie. I thought I would be, I was fine with calling it my best picture winner. Like I'd be like, all right, like I'm fine with that. But I would have been like, I was like, you know what, if Parasite won, that would have been like the best thing ever. And when I saw, like when Jane Fonda read the words Parasite, I probably died and went to heaven and probably was reborn as my current self. Like I thought that was the greatest thing that's ever happened. Like one of the greatest memories I'll ever have. Like I think that's just.
I'm
deserves
genuinely annoyed I couldn't witness it live because I have an exam. But
it was God.
after the exam ended, I grabbed my phone, I checked, I got like a bunch of messages hitting me up, right? From like family, friends. It's like, it won. You're saying this? You were right. I'm like, yeah. I was just like, oh my god, this is it. Like, and Parasite has had a big effect on pop culture. I'm telling you now, we're gonna see Parasite references and parody in pop culture soon. South Park, Simpsons, Bob's Burgers. I can see this happen. I can see people parodying, but I can see Bong Joon-ho being like one of the most reliable names and making money now. His next film it's a horror film, I think. But
yeah, he has 2 projects right now. He has an English language one that's like a thriller that he read from a news clipping, and then he has a South Korean horror action script that he has going.
So yeah, the horror action one looks interesting. So that it's all about.
Oh yeah.
He said that the next one is gonna be something weird in the sense that it's something that would not work in a place like America because everyone is very diverse when it comes to like literal skin color. So that in a Korea with everyone having the same skin color, it would work. I'm like, interesting.
All right, so I have an interesting tidbit for you guys. Okay, so there is an Indian producer who has sued Parasite for and accused him, Bong Joon-ho, of copying his movie. Have you heard of this? Yeah. So basically,
I think I heard of this.
Yeah. So this guy, he's crazy. Okay, first of all, so he has this movie where it's not even remotely the same. It's a rich guy going to a normal woman's house to win over her heart and plays like a servant in the house. It's not the same thing. But this guy has the audacity to go sue Bong Joon-ho, and when the movie won the Oscars, right? He reported that I'm proud that my story has won the Oscar for Best Picture.
Oh my god, yeah.
That is the craziest thing.
That is crazy.
Like, I kind of want to watch the film now. Like, it sounds.
Don't. It's not remotely interesting.
Oh, okay. But that's silly, man. That's like, I don't know. That's.
We don't have anything else to say.
It's just so weird.
I love Parasite. That's just my final tidbits. I think about this movie. I was just I get a rush from when I see it again.
No, I'm really hyped for.
I can't wait to see it again.
I can't wait for the Nostalgia Critic videos and Cinema Sins videos.
Oh my god! God, I'm dreading those.
Walker, yeah, everything wrong with Parasite. Logos, ding, like quiet.
I'm dreading that. I'm dreading that right now. God, I just realized that's happening. That's probably happening.
Who I find more annoying, Doug Walker or Cinema Sins, because both of them are leading to like the death of genuine film criticism. I feel like they're just pushing this nitpicky sort of.
I think The Wall is where I lost every respect for Doug Walker. I think The Wall was
I haven't even listened to the Pink Floyd The Wall, but I listened to like 10 minutes of
the movie's. I think the movie's great. I think the movie's great, and I don't know if I'm biased because I like Pink Floyd a lot, but I think the movie's great visually. There's some stuff that could be worked on for the script, but I think it's great. I don't think he should have done a review for it though.
No,
I
and
feel
then
I feel
what
like
I found weird-
Jeremy. I'm sorry. Continue.
Doug Walker, he's not a good person. He's done a lot of shady stuff, and he's never
Oh, yeah.
supports the people that got screwed over by his company. And anyway, what I find weird is he screens his videos at a cinema, right?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
That's horrible.
His review. He like screened
Yeah.
at like a theater in like California. I was saying to myself, why would you go see that in a
Why would you
theater?
pay?
Who lets him? That's the question. Who is letting him do that?
Someone please stop Doug Walker.
I mean, I feel like Jeremy Johns is catching up to that.
I can agree.
Yeah,
I
I
can agree to that.
don't hate it. I don't hate the guy. Okay, but it's basically just like a recent movie put in the title, 5-minute video of basically summarizing the plot. That's the main difference. When people confuse Chris Tuckman. They're like, Chris Tuckman is shit. Jeremy Johns
Chris
is
Tuckman.
yeah, but Chris Tuckman, whatever he does, I think of him,
I
right?
always respect
It doesn't matter because all his reviews are 15 minutes long. He breaks down
They're
everything
genuine,
he likes and he
genuine
doesn't like.
criticism.
They're genuine, and the guy is loaded. Like, have you looked? Like in one video, he showed up his screeners, and that guy is busy.
Yeah.
But he still does
Chris
real
Tuckman?
genuine
Yeah,
film criticism.
He's
Yeah.
a filmmaker. He gets it, and he isn't like I don't
What's
know.
it called?
Jeremy Johns just
His-
comes off as buzzword and clickbait sort of thing.
What's it called? Chris Tuckman's short film. Forgot what it's called.
Nose from Melanie.
Yes,
Ooh,
it was
yeah.
pretty good. Like it showed promise. Like I was very pleased with it.
Also, I just found Jeremy Johns's film rating system just so weird, awesome, tacular. Like, yeah, thanks Jeremy for calling 12 Years a Slave awesome, tacular. I just find that kind of hilarious.
Oh,
And-
there's a video where he's in blackface. It is.
Oh yeah, the Blade video. Yeah,
Oh,
blackface.
My God.
I feel like Chris Tuckman is more respected just because he hasn't broken his formula and he does it
He
sincerely.
interviewed the
every
director
day.
of Creed 2 as well. Like, and I get why, because guess what? He's respected. He's respectful, right? And okay, also, cinema scene, and okay, even to some extent, I'm gonna get so much hate for this, right? YMS, his
Oh, I hate
quickie
him.
videos are just nitpicky annoyance.
They make me have a headache. They really make me have a headache.
His long form content is decent, right?
Oh yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, long form content, he's good. His Cool Cat videos, they crack me up. But
Oh yeah.
I have to
His quick-
say, his quickies are awful.
Here's the thing, like there are some movies I think are just genuinely like fun entertainment, like harmless movies, like Detective Pikachu. Sure, it's not the greatest thing put to cinema, but I still think it's a pretty fun.
It's a fun time in
enjoyable-
the cinema. It's cute. It's
exactly.
funny.
I saw fucking YMS's review and I thought, like, did you not have fun? Like, did you not understand what it was trying to go for? It was trying to be fun. It was trying to be for kids. Like, that's the main.
I disagree because he does that like in like a lot of videos, but he's himself told that like if you can here's the thing, he's not against you enjoying it. He just said that, and he said in a lot of videos that he nitpicks a lot. He's like, I nitpick to be funny. He's like, I nitpick to be funny, which is fairly shit excuse. But here's the thing: it's not like his thing to propel the movie, right? It's just like his opinion.
What I find annoying about his videos, right? Quickies, it's just like you could just replace the film titles. You know, the same video. He's like, oh, this video. He's either says like, oh, I don't like this, and then he just sits on the same topic for like half 5 minutes, and then he comes in and complains. A good review should cover all aspects of a film, and then give an honest rating. YMS just picks one thing, complains, gives 1 or 2 lines about something else, and gives a score.
I still think that the funniest video, and this is a movie you could generally pick apart to pieces, and you'd still find different meanings from it. But I think his video on Synecdoche, New York, his like 5-part series, is some of the funniest things put to YouTube. Like it is like I understand you picking apart the editing. I understand that. But then there's at times where he goes to the extremes, and a lot of it just doesn't work. and he's not just picking apart like the deep meaning of it. He's like going apart like the editing and like the title, the logo, like the title screen, like how that just means something. And as much as I love that movie so much, I think there's a lot of things to pick apart. I think that's just it's not. I don't like to say it's not the wrong way nor the correct way. It's not how you would pick apart something like that kind of thing.
It feels kind of annoying. No, but okay, I haven't seen his Synecdoche, New York videos. 'Cause I haven't seen the film yet. But like, apparently Charlie Kaufman likes the videos. But at the same time, I feel like there's this over analysis where everything is look. I'm sure the whole every painting something. Yeah, but like, I feel like YMS. I feel like there's like a scale of YouTube criticism, right? On the top end, you have like Nerd Writer, Arena Painting, some of the video essayists. Loverboy Media is quite good.
Oh yeah.
You have who else? Chris Duckman. Then you have and then I honestly I would put everything up there. His videos are much better than YMS. Then a little bit lower down, Ralph Movie Maker, right? He's quite good. Yeah. Then I would say bottom tiers, right? Also, I mean no offense to anyone. It's just my opinion. If you like these content creators, that's fine. There's nothing against you. And if any of these content creators are watching, please note, I have nothing against you. This is just my own opinion. I hope you don't hate me or Mandy or John. So
I still think the best video essayist has to be Patrick Willems.
Ooh, I don't know. That's a controversial one, but I'm not really like, I don't like his reviews and views of movies, but his style is really good. I really admire his style. He has his uniqueness. Yeah, effort in every video is really good. I don't agree with all of his views, but I really like his style.
So I have to say, sorry, but Cinema Wins and Patrick Willems are top tier as well.
Oh yeah.
But at the bottom, you got YMS isn't too bad. Like, his quickies annoying, but I like his long form content. But if you're talking like the worst of the worst, okay, Lights Camera Jackson, and
my God, Lights Camera
genuinely Jackson. Mauler. Mauler is just the epitome of bad.
I think this Lights Camera Jackson. I think Lights Camera Jackson. Like, I strive to not be like him, and I sometimes fear that. It's just that like he comes across like at times he feels snarky. Like when his Booksmart review, his Booksmart review was like, I was like cool if you don't like the movie, I understand that, but like the way he said it, I was like, that's how you're gonna review a movie? Like that just seems like a slap in the face.
It feels so holier than thou.
Oh yeah.
It feels so I'm better than you because I don't like this movie. Like, just can it, mate?
Exactly.
Like, you got famous off a gimmick. It was a bit gimmicky. Yeah. He's a gimmick that outlasted itself. But the worst, Mauler, oh my god, man! Like, that guy.
I've heard about his content.
He makes extremely long videos. So, do you know Jenny Nicholson? She made a video, half an hour video, saying she wasn't a fan of Joker. That's fine. Yeah. But guess what? Mauler made a 12-hour long podcast complaining about a half an hour long video. Okay, sorry. Let's just wrap things up. So, Parasite.
No, yeah.
One last thing, the editing. Like, it's clever. The montage sequences and that sort of stuff, and the suspense is Hitchcock levels. Like, some of the most meaningful editing I've seen in such a long time. And they even stitch shots together. It's just so energetic. Doesn't feel boring. Doesn't drag. It's a masterclass in all filmmaking.
It's going to be a very, very memorable film for everybody in the coming future.
As Mandy mentioned, incredible use of invisible CGI. Incredible use.
Oh yeah, it is. The VFX is purposeful. It's not overdoing. It's not the main point of the movie,
it's like
and
Fincher
it's really
VFX
well done.
Almost.
Oh, no, yeah. Fincher VFX is another level though. Like, but this is very, very purposeful, but it's really like the budget for this movie was really big. I was surprised to see that because apparently each part of the house is a separate soundstage.
Yeah.
and which is like
Which we'll
insane.
mention
Like,
that.
yeah, but obviously it's Bong Joon-ho, so I'm guessing like,
The
you know,
Korean producer that faith in them. The
yeah,
funding, yeah.
yeah.
So let's give a Parasite. What's your scores? 10 from me.
10 for me.
I don't know, and it's really good. It's amazing, obviously. I mean, I'm giving it a 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, whatever.
Perfect. Yep. One last thing. So that's today's episode. I know this episode went on a bit, quite a lot of tangents, but that's just I don't know. I just found it incredibly fun and just energetic to go on tangents. We just like to delve into pockets of film culture.
Oh yeah,
We do.
definitely. Thank you for having me on here.
So, do you have anything you want to plug, John? Anything you want to give a shout out to? Anything? Just stage is yours.
I think just one thing I have to shout out is Letterboxd because yesterday, sadly, we had Eli Haynes. Apparently, he died from a suicide. I did not know him personally, but I've seen some of his work, and his reviews are my inspirations for writing. It's very sad to hear that he passed away. I'm just a shout out to Letterboxd for now keeping his page active, and they're going to keep his page going with the patron or the pro membership, which I think is very, very nice and very genuine of them to do that. It just makes people who don't know his work to just introduce it to his work, and yeah, I just think that's just so great of them to do that.
Yeah, right.
So, yep, that's all for today's episode, everyone. Please do check out John and his socials in the description below. Please do practice proper coronavirus health practices. Socially distance yourself. Only leave the house